Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. Tonight, let's go back almost 2,000 years and explore one of the most famous and impactful emperors of the mighty Roman Empire. This man has been mythologized in movies and credited with leading the empire to the height of its glory in the late 2nd century AD. He was a Renaissance man. He was a successful warrior, certainly a competent emperor, and a talented academic. But after his lesser son took the throne following his death, the long decline of the Roman Empire began. Tonight, let's discover the emperor of Rome at its height, Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a product of the Roman societal act of adoption. Now, Roman adoption was quite different than most adoptions are today. In Rome, what would happen is an emperor or a man of power would legally adopt a son of high character and value, often higher character than that of his own flesh and blood. Emperors often did this because, frankly, their own sons were wicked, and they wanted their legacy carried on by a better man. Marcus himself was adopted in this way. The Emperor Hadrian adopted a successor to his throne, a man named Titus Antonius, who would eventually become Emperor Pius Antonius. And Antonius adopted young Marcus when Marcus was 17 years old. Now, Marcus was both a learned man and a fierce soldier, and these traits made him highly successful in Roman culture. He was a leader of the Senate, and he also married and had many children, one of whom would become emperor in his place, the infamous Emperor Commodus. Meanwhile, Marcus himself rose to the throne in 161 AD after the death of his adopted father. While Marcus was famous in Rome as a peaceful emperor, that peace was accomplished through conquest. He was determined to extend the might of Rome into northern Europe, driving back the pesky Germanic tribes in the Danube River region. He withstood the attacks from those invaders as well as internal intrigue from his rival Avidius Cassius. Cassius took advantage of an opportunity to claim the title of emperor for himself when Marcus fell ill in the 170s AD. But Marcus survived despite rumors that he had died, and Cassius was murdered by his own men, keeping the throne in Marcus's hands. Of course, the thorn in Marcus's side ultimately would be his wayward son Commodus. Now, the movies have dramatized the nature of Commodus's wickedness, and it's very likely that he did not murder his father. But this man was evil and narcissistic. He renamed the empire after himself, and his incompetence set Rome on a long course for destruction. Throughout the 3rd and 4th centuries, Rome would never again be as powerful as it was when Marcus was emperor, finally falling to the Germanic tribes in 476. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.